Hello and welcome to the Learn English Lab, where we help you power up your English skills. I'm Mike, and I'm so excited for today's deep dive. We're going to be talking about a 30-day action plan to boost your English. And joining me is the amazing Sarah. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Mike. I'm thrilled to be here.
So let's imagine this. You've decided you're ready to really take your English to the next level in just 30 days. It's a great goal. And we are going to equip you with a really powerful action plan to make it happen. And let me tell you, this is not your typical language learning advice. We're going to be talking about speaking from day one tongue twisters, even teaching others.
That's what I like to hear. Learning a language should be active and, of course, enjoyable.
I completely agree. So this 30-day plan, it's all about a structured step-by-step approach to improving your English in all areas: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. But before we dive into the daily activities, it all begins with the why.
Yeah, that's such an important point, Mike. Understanding your motivation is really essential. Why are you learning English? Is it for work travel, connecting with family, or just because you love learning languages? Having that clear purpose will keep you going.
Exactly. It's that driving force behind your learning.
Yeah.
And once you've got that, why you need to figure out where you're starting from. There are a ton of online tests that can help you assess your current English level.
Right, and don't forget, even native English speakers use dictionaries and grammar checkers. They're tools for everyone.
I love that point. It's about using the resources that are out there. So with your why and your starting point in mind, the next step is setting those SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
You have to have realistic goals. If you set goals that are too ambitious, you're just more likely to get discouraged. So focus on consistent, manageable progress.
Consistent progress is key. I love that. Okay, so week one of this plan is called Building a Strong Foundation. There's a reason for that. It's all about mastering those fundamental grammar rules that really form the backbone of the English language.
It's like building a house. You need a strong foundation before you start putting up the walls and the roof. And it's not about memorizing a bunch of boring grammar rules. It's about understanding how sentences work, how to use those building blocks to communicate effectively.
And this is where it gets really exciting. On day 3, you're already diving into pronunciation and listening skills. Podcasts, YouTube, even mimicking native speakers. Can you believe it? Speaking English from day 1.
It's a fantastic way to build confidence and overcome that fear of speaking that a lot of learners struggle with. And there are so many apps and platforms now where you can connect with English speakers from all over the world.
That is so cool. And remember, everyone makes mistakes when they're learning. It's part of the process. Okay, so let's talk about vocabulary. This plan encourages you to learn 10 to 15 new words every single day. You can use flashcards, word games. There are so many ways to make it fun.
Absolutely. When you're enjoying the process, you're much more likely to stay with it.
I completely agree. And this next part is super exciting to me. It's developing a reading habit. The plan suggests starting simple, maybe with children's books or graded readers, and gradually working your way up to more complex materials.
Yeah, that's a great strategy. Starting with easier material helps you build confidence and improve your reading comprehension skills. And don't be afraid to use a dictionary or translate a few words here and there. The goal is to enjoy reading and learn from context.
Exactly. And to round out week 1, you're encouraged to practice writing from the start. Think about journaling emails, even using online tools to improve your grammar. What's so cool is that each day builds on the previous one. It's not just about isolated skills, it's about weaving them all together.
And that's where active learning comes in. It's not just passively absorbing information, but actively using what you're learning. So take notes while you're listening to a podcast, write down keywords, think about how you can use those words in conversations.
That's a great point. Active learning is a total game changer. Okay, so we've laid the groundwork in week 1, and now we're ready to move on to week 2, where we're going to focus on strengthening your communication skills.
I'm excited to see how we build on those foundational skills from week 1.
Me too. In week 2, we're talking watching TV shows and movies with subtitles, listening to audiobooks, and learning common phrases and idioms that native speakers use all the time.
Yeah, it's like immersing yourself in the culture of the language. Idioms and phrases give you that deeper understanding of how English is really used.
For sure. And to help you express yourself more effectively, you'll also be working on improving your sentence structure using linking words. You know, those words that connect your ideas and make your sentences flow more smoothly.
Those are the building blocks of clear and articulate communication.
Yes. And of course, no language learning journey is complete without actually speaking with native speakers. So week 2 encourages you to step outside of your comfort zone and start having conversations, whether online or in person, just getting comfortable using the language.
There's no better way to learn than by actually using the language. And don't worry too much about making mistakes. Native speakers are generally very understanding.
So true. Here's a cool tip. The plan suggests imitating native speakers' intonation and stress patterns. Those rises and falls in pitch that give meaning and emotion.
Those nuances can really make a big difference in how you're understood and how you sound.
That's a great way to put it. To keep your writing skills strong, week 2 encourages you to try storytelling. Write short stories, experiment with different tenses, and you could even share your work online to get feedback.
Writing is such a powerful tool for self-expression and for solidifying your understanding of grammar and vocabulary.
I totally agree. And before we move on to week 3, there's a crucial step at the end of week 2, and that's reviewing and revising everything from week 1. It's all about reinforcing those foundational skills.
Consistency and deliberate practice are so important. Regularly reviewing material helps move it from your short-term memory into long-term memory.
All right, are you ready to gear up for week 3? We're moving into advanced learning techniques, so we're going to refine the skills you've already developed and push yourself even further.
This is where things get really interesting. You're going to develop a deeper understanding of all the nuances of the English language.
Exactly. One of the key activities in week 3 is diving into the world of podcasts for deeper listening comprehension. You'll be taking notes, listening actively, really challenging yourself to understand more complex topics.
Podcasts are such a great resource for language learners. There are podcasts on pretty much any subject you can think of.
Yeah, and let's not forget about grammar. Week 3 tackles some of the trickier concepts like the passive voice conditional sentences and those ever-elusive phrasal verbs.
These are some of the areas of grammar that can really trip people up, but once you master them, it'll really take your English to a whole new level.
Absolutely. And to help you with pronunciation and fluency, week 3 introduces tongue twisters. They're designed to really work those mouth muscles and improve your articulation.
Tongue twisters are fun, and they're a surprisingly effective way to practice pronunciation.
And to expand your vocabulary and your reading comprehension, week 3 encourages you to tackle more challenging articles. Think editorials, opinion pieces, even academic journals.
Reading complex texts exposes you to a wider range of vocabulary and sentence structures. Don't be afraid to look up words you don't know.
And here's a really cool part of week 3, participating in English debates. It's about pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, thinking critically about different viewpoints, and learning how to express your opinions clearly and confidently.
Debating is a fantastic way to practice speaking skills, and it also teaches you how to construct arguments.
I love it. To keep your writing skills sharp, week 3 introduces the idea of blogging. You can start a blog on any topic you're passionate about.
Blogging is a great way to express yourself creatively, to share your thoughts with the world, and to practice writing in a more informal and engaging style.
Great point. As always, it's important to take a step back and reflect on your progress. At the end of week 3, you'll identify areas where you need more practice and set new goals for the final week.
Yeah, taking that time to reflect and identify areas for improvement is so important. It keeps you on track and helps you make the most of your learning experience.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. Week 1 laid the foundation, week 2 focused on communication, and week 3 pushed us further with those advanced techniques. Are you ready for the grand finale?
It's the culmination of all your hard work, putting your skills into practice in real-life situations.
Yeah, exactly. And to prepare for those real-world challenges, week 4 starts with role-playing conversations for common scenarios. So imagine ordering food at a restaurant, asking for directions, or even navigating a job interview all in English.
Role-playing gives you that chance to practice in a safe environment and experiment with different phrases and expressions.
And the more you practice, the more confident you'll feel when you encounter those situations in real life. So how about this for a challenge? Week 4 encourages you to read a full book in English.
That is a fantastic milestone. It's about fully immersing yourself in the language and just enjoying the beauty of English storytelling.
And to make sure your writing skills stay sharp, week 4 encourages you to practice essay writing. You can choose any topic that interests you and really focus on expressing your thoughts in a clear and organized way.
Essay writing helps you develop critical thinking skills and learn how to present a well-structured argument. Those are skills that are useful far beyond just language learning.
So true. To really push yourself, week 4 challenges you to speak English in public settings. Think about joining a conversation group, giving a presentation, or even just striking up conversations with native English speakers.
It's all about embracing those opportunities to use the language and to really see how far you've come.
And you'll be surprised how supportive and encouraging people are. Most native speakers are happy to see someone putting in the efforts to learn their language. So are you ready for this week? 4 encourages you to watch movies in English without subtitles.
Talk about immersion. You're really putting your listening comprehension skills to the test and challenging yourself to rely on context and your vocabulary to understand what's being said.
It's amazing how much you can pick up when you remove that safety net of subtitles. Your brain starts to naturally tune in to the rhythms and the flow of spoken English. Speaking of flow, week 4 introduces speed writing. You set a timer and challenge yourself to write something as quickly as you can.
Speed writing is a great way to improve your fluency and learn how to be concise with your writing. It's like a workout for your brain and your fingers.
I love that analogy. It's training your mind to think and express ideas quickly. Week 4 also includes something that I think is really smart. It encourages you to take a full English test. Think of it like a progress report. You get a clear idea of your current level, and it can highlight areas where you might want to focus a bit more.
Yeah, standardized tests can be helpful tools for identifying strengths and weaknesses, and they can also help you set realistic goals.
And here's one of my favorite parts of this whole plan. Week 4 challenges you to teach someone else. Imagine explaining English concepts to a friend, a family member, or even a study partner.
Teaching is honestly one of the best ways to learn. When you break a concept down to explain it to someone else, it helps you solidify your own understanding. It's a win-win.
It's so rewarding. Finally, we've reached the end of this amazing 30-day plan. But as we both know, language learning doesn't stop there, does it?
Definitely not. It's a journey. It's constantly evolving your skills and your knowledge. The 30-day plan is a great foundation, but the key is to keep that momentum going.
So as you wrap up this challenge, take some time to celebrate how far you've come. Recognize all the effort you put in the new skills you've acquired and the confidence you've built.
It's important to recognize those achievements and to let that sense of accomplishment fuel your future learning.
And don't be afraid to set new goals. What are some things you want to explore further? What new challenges are you ready to take on? The beauty of language learning is that there's always more to discover.
It's a path to connecting with people, exploring cultures, and just expanding your horizons in so many ways. The possibilities are pretty much endless.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into this amazing 30-day English improvement action plan. We've covered a lot of different strategies and techniques, from building that strong foundation to putting your skills to work in the real world.
It's been such an interesting conversation, Mike. I'm really impressed by this plan and how comprehensive it is and how it focuses on keeping learning active and engaging.
So what does all of this mean for you, our awesome listeners? It means you have the power to transform your English skills in just 30 days.
This plan gives you the roadmap, the tools, and the inspiration to make it happen. It's about taking action, embracing the challenge, and most importantly, having fun while you learn.
It's about making learning an adventure, a journey of self-discovery and growth. And remember, you don't have to go through this alone. There's a huge community of English learners out there, both online and in your local area.
Explore those resources, connect with other learners, and discover what works best for you.
So are you ready to take on this challenge and really unlock your English potential? I know it might sound a little bit cheesy, but we believe in you.
We're cheering you on every step of the way.
And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends who are learning English, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more great language learning tips. We're here to support you.
Thanks for joining us on this exciting journey. Keep practicing, stay curious, and never stop exploring the world of English.
Until next time, happy learning.
Yeah, I'm really curious to hear more about this final week. It seems like it brings a lot of these skills together.
It really does. Week 4 of this 30-day plan is all about taking those skills that you've been working on and confidently using them in real-world situations. And we start with something super practical, role-playing conversations. So picture this, you're ordering food at a restaurant, asking for directions, or even going through a job interview, all in English.
Role-playing is such a helpful tool for practicing speaking in a safe space. You can experiment, get feedback, and build up your confidence so you're ready for these situations in real life.
It takes the pressure off, right?
Right.
You can make mistakes and learn from them without feeling self-conscious.
And speaking of real-world experiences, week 4 includes a pretty exciting challenge, reading a full book in English.
Now that's something to be proud of. It's a chance to totally immerse yourself in the language, expand your vocabulary naturally, and get a feel for how English storytelling works. It's about enjoying reading in English and having that moment where you realize you're following the story without thinking about the language. But we can't forget about writing, can we? Week 4 encourages you to practice writing essays. Pick topics that you're passionate about and focus on expressing your thoughts in a clear and organized way.
Essay writing really helps you develop critical thinking skills, and you learn how to present a well-structured argument. These are skills that are useful even beyond language learning.
That's right. It's about getting better at communication, which is helpful no matter what you do in life. Now, I know this next challenge might seem a little scary, but it's super rewarding. Week 4 encourages you to speak English in public settings. Maybe you join a conversation group, give a presentation, or just start conversations with native English speakers.
It might be intimidating at first, but it's really the best way to practice all of your skills and see how far you've come. It's about taking those opportunities to use English in real situations.
And you might be surprised by how supportive and encouraging people are. Most native English speakers are really excited to see someone putting in the effort to learn their language. Are you ready for this week? 4 suggests watching English movies with no subtitles.
Wow, talk about immersion.
Yeah.
This is where you're really testing your listening comprehension. Rely on context or your vocabulary to understand the movie.
It's amazing what you can understand when you take away the subtitles. Your brain starts to naturally pick up the rhythm and the flow of English. Speaking of flow, week 4 introduces speed writing. Set a timer and see how fast you can write a short story or an article.
Speed writing is a fun way to improve your writing fluency and learn to express yourself in fewer words. It's like a workout for your brain and your fingers.
I love that analogy. It's like training your mind to think and write quickly.
Yeah.
Week 4 also has this component that I think is pretty clever. It encourages you to take a full English test. It's like a report card for your English. You see your level, and it can point out areas where you might need a little more practice.
Yeah. Those standardized tests can be useful for figuring out your strengths and weaknesses, and they can help you set realistic goals.
And here's one of my favorite parts of the whole plan. Week 4 challenges you to teach someone else. Imagine teaching English concepts to a friend or family member.
Teaching is seriously one of the best ways to learn. When you have to explain something to someone else, it makes you really understand it. It helps everyone.
It's such a rewarding experience, too. We've reached the end of this 30-day plan. But, language learning never really ends, does it?
Oh, definitely not. It's a journey. You're always improving your skills and knowledge. The 30-day plan is a solid start, but the trick is to keep going.
Exactly. As you finish this challenge, take a moment to celebrate what you've accomplished. Think about all the effort you put in the new skills you've gained and how much more confident you are.
It's important to acknowledge those achievements and use them to motivate you to keep learning.
Don't be afraid to set new goals for yourself. Think about things you want to explore more. What new challenges are you ready for? The great thing about language learning is there's always more to learn.
It's a path to connecting with people, exploring cultures, and broadening your horizons. There's really no limit to what you can do.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dives into this amazing 30-day English improvement plan. We've looked at so many strategies and techniques, from building a strong foundation to using your skills in the real world.
It's been so interesting, Mike. I'm really impressed by how complete this plan is and how much it focuses on making learning active and engaging.
So what does this mean for you, our fantastic listeners?
Yeah.
It means you have the power to completely transform your English skills in just 30 days.
This plan gives you the steps, the tools, and the inspiration to do it. It's about taking action, embracing the challenge, and most importantly, having fun as you learn.
It's about turning learning into an adventure, a journey where you discover new things about yourself and grow. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. There's a huge community of English learners out there online and in person.
Find those resources, connect with other people who are learning, and figure out what works best for you.
So are you up for the challenge? Are you ready to unlock your full English potential? I know it might sound corny, but we believe you can do it.
We're cheering you on every step of the way.
And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends who are learning English, and subscribe to our channel for more awesome language learning tips. We're here to help you.
Thanks for coming along on this journey with us. Keep practicing, keep learning, and never stop exploring the amazing world of English.
Until next time, happy learning. It's really amazing how much you can do in just 30 days if you really commit to it and have a solid plan. This 30-day English improvement plan that we've been talking about can make such a big difference.
I totally agree. It's great how it combines all 4 main skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. It's not just isolated activities. It's about really understanding the language.
And it's about having fun.
Yeah.
The plan includes a lot of fun things like podcasts, movies, tongue twisters, even teaching other people. It makes learning English enjoyable.
Learning a language shouldn't be boring, right? When you enjoy it, you're more likely to keep going and see those results.
That's so important. It's about taking those small steps each day and building on what you've learned. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. There are tons of people out there learning English just like you.
That's right. Connecting with other learners is so helpful. You get support encouragement, maybe even a little friendly competition. Share your stories, practice together, and learn from each other.
And don't forget about all the great resources that are available. Apps, podcasts, online dictionaries, grammar checkers, and of course, books. Use everything you can.
It's like having a toolbox full of things to help you build your English skills. Try different things, find what works best for you, and keep adjusting as you go.
So are you ready to start this 30-day journey and really reach your full English potential? I know it sounds cheesy, but we really believe in you. Take that first step, embrace those challenges, and celebrate every success along the way.
We're rooting for you. Remember, learning a language is a gift you give to yourself. It opens so many doors, new opportunities, connections, experiences. So go out there and explore the world of English and have fun doing it.
And that wraps up our deep dive into this awesome 30-day English improvement action plan. We've talked about so many different techniques, from building a strong base to actually using your skills in real life.
It's been a fantastic conversation. It's so inspiring to see a plan that's so comprehensive and really focused on active and engaging learning.
So what does this all mean for you, our amazing listeners? It means you have the ability to totally transform your English in just 30 days.
This plan gives you the steps, the resources, and the motivation you need. It's about taking action, facing those challenges, and most importantly, having fun while you learn.
It's about making learning an adventure. It's a journey of self-discovery and growth. And remember, you are not alone in this. There's a huge community of English learners out there, both online and in person.
Yeah, find those resources, connect with other learners, and figure out what works for you.
So are you ready to take on this challenge and unlock your English potential? We know you can do it.
We're cheering you on every step of the way.
And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends who are learning English too, and subscribe to our channel for more incredible language learning tips and tricks. We're here to support you every step of the way.
Thanks for joining us on this awesome journey. Keep practicing, stay curious, and never stop exploring the incredible world of English.
Until next time, happy learning.